A TWSBI Go costs $20. It has a spring-loaded piston filler, a transparent barrel, and it holds over 1.5 milliliters of ink. Pens with piston fillers usually start at $75. The difference is not the mechanism. The mechanism is identical. The difference is the logo on the cap, the box it ships in, and the century of marketing you're funding with the extra $55. Here's what the fountain pen industry banking on prestige pricing hopes you never figure out. Under $30, there are pens that deliver features the industry locks behind $50 to $100 price gates. These 10 prove it, ranked by the gap between what you pay and what you get. If this just saved you money or changed how you look at a price tag, subscribe. No sponsorships, no affiliate codes, just honest breakdowns every week. The Pilot Metropolitan costs $15 to $20 at Jet Pens, Goulet Pens, Amazon, or Staples. It has a brass barrel with a baked enamel finish. It comes in a gift box. It writes with the same nib and feed assembly that Pilot installs in the Prera, a pen that sells for $75. The nib is identical, the feed is identical, the ink flow is identical. The difference between the Metro and the Prera is the barrel material. The Prera uses resin, the Metro uses brass. You are paying $15 for a $75 writing experience, and the other $60 is resin, softer touch finish, and the word Prera printed on the cap. That's not a premium, that's a logo tax. The enthusiast consensus is blunt. The Metro is the pen you recommend first because it writes like pens 3 times its price, and you can buy it at Staples today. No wait, no import risk, no specialty retailer. You walk in, you pay $20, you walk out with a pen that has Pilot's gold standard nib geometry. That's number 10. The Lamy Safari costs $25 to $30 at Goulet Pens, Jet Pens, Amazon, or Blick Art Materials. It is made of ABS plastic with a matte finish and a triangular grip. The nib is steel, and it snaps on and off in 3 seconds without tools. Replacement nibs cost $6. Here is why that matters. The Safari is not one pen. It is 5 pens. You buy the body for $25. You buy a fine nib for $6, a medium for $6, a broad for $6, a stub for $6, an extra fine for $6. Now, you have 5 different line widths for $55 a total. Most brands charge you $50 for one pen with one nib, and if you want a different width, you buy another $50 pen. Lamy charges you $6.30 of your time. The design has been in continuous production since 1980. The Museum of Modern Art has it in their permanent collection. You are not paying $25 for a beginner pen. You are paying $25 for a modular platform with a 40-year track record, and the other $25 to $75 that other brands charge is the cost of locking you into one nib width forever. That is number 9. The Platinum Preppy costs $3 to $5 at Jet Pens or Amazon. It is a plastic pen with a snap cap and a steel nib. It has Platinum's slip seal cap mechanism. That mechanism is the entire value proposition. Most fountain pens dry out if you leave them uncapped for a few minutes. Leave them unused for a week and the nib clogs. You flush the pen, soak it, reprime the feed. The Preppy slip seal cap creates an airtight seal. Independent testing and community reports confirm you can leave a Preppy unused for a year, pick it up, and it writes on the first stroke. Platinum uses that exact same slip seal technology in the 376 century, a pen that costs $60 to $70 and is widely regarded as one of the best pens Japan makes. The cap mechanism is identical. The nib is steel in both. The difference is the barrel. The 3D776 uses resin with a polished finish. The Preppy uses injection molded plastic. You are paying $3 for the same cap technology Platinum charges $60 for in their flagship model. The other $57 is resin, weight, and the 3776 name on the barrel. The Preppy feels like a $3 pen. It is light. It looks disposable, but it writes and it keeps writing, and a year from now it will still start on the first try. That is why the fountain pen community calls it a gateway pen. People buy it as a joke. Then they realize the expensive pens were never about the mechanism. That is number 8. The TWSBI Eco costs $30 at Goulet Pens, Jet Pens, Anderson Pens, or Amazon. It is a piston filler demonstrator. The barrel is fully transparent. You watch the piston draw ink up from the bottle every time you fill it. Piston fillers are the same mechanism vintage Parker and Pelikan pens used in the 1940s, and collectors pay hundreds of dollars to restore those mechanisms in old pens. TWSBI sells it to you new for $30. The Eco holds about 1.8 milliliters of ink. Most cartridge converter pens hold 1 milliliter. You are getting nearly double the capacity. The piston seal is user replaceable. TWSBI sells replacement seals and a wrench for $2. If the seal wears out after years of use, you fix it yourself in 5 minutes using the video guide TWSBI publishes on their site. Most pen brands do not publish repair guides. Most do not sell you the parts. TWSBI's philosophy is transparency in both senses. You see the ink. You see the mechanism. You see how to fix it when it breaks. The Eco is Goulet's best-selling pen. It appears in the top 3 recommendations on Fountain Pen Network and our fountain pens every single week. People buy one Eco, then buy 3 more in different colors. That is not budget behavior. That is best pen behavior. You are paying $30 for a piston filler that legacy brands charge $75 to $100 for. And the only thing you are giving up is the logo and the mahogany box. That is number 7. And it is the pen that makes cartridge converter systems look like a compromise. Not every expensive pen is a ripoff. A Lamy 2000 costs $180 and it earns it with a piston filler, a fiberglass reinforced body, and a hooded nib ground to tolerances budget pens cannot match. A Pilot. Vanishing Point costs $150 and it has a retractable mechanism that required genuine engineering. Those pens justify their cost. But none of the pens on this list need an apology. They compete on substance, and they win. The Kaweco Sport costs $25 to $30 at Goulet Pens, Jet Pens, Amazon, or Pen Chalet. It is a pocket pen. Uncapped, it is 10.5 centimeters. Posted, it becomes a full-length pen at 13 centimeters. The design has been in production since 1935. You are paying $25 for 90 years of continuous refinement and a pen small enough to carry in a shirt pocket. Most pocket pens cost $50 to $70 because brands position portability as premium. Kaweco positions it as default. The Sport is small because that is the design, not because you are paying less and getting less pen. The nib is steel. The body is ABS plastic in the classic line. You are paying $25 for German engineering with a pre-war pedigree, and the other $25 to $45 other brands charge is the tax on calling a small pen a luxury feature. That is number 6. The Platinum Placer costs $20 to $25 at Jet Pens, Goulet Pens, or Amazon. It is the Preppy with an aluminum barrel, same slip seal cap, same nib, same feed. The only difference is the material. The Preppy is plastic. The Placer is anodized aluminum with a matte finish. That aluminum adds weight and a cool-to-the-touch feel. The writing experience is identical because the nib and feed are identical. You are paying $17 more than the Preppy, and what you are buying is the metal body. The Placer does not write better. It writes the same. It feels like a $40 pen instead of a $3 pen, and Platinum is honest about it. They are not telling you the aluminum makes the nib smoother. They are selling you a material upgrade for $17. Compare that to brands that charge $60 to go from resin to metal and pretend the nib improved. You are paying $20 for slip seal technology, a Japanese nib, and a metal body. That is number 5, and it is proof that honest pricing exists if you know where to look. The Pen BBS 456 costs $12 to $18 from Vaniss Pens or eBay import sellers. It has a vacuum filler mechanism. Vacuum fillers are the most complex filling system in fountain pen history. They use a plunger rod, a pressure bar, and a flexible diaphragm to create suction. Vintage vacuum fillers from Parker and Schieffer sell for hundreds of dollars because the mechanism is difficult to restore and even harder to manufacture new. Pen BBS sells you a new vacuum filler for $15. It ships from China. It takes 2 to 3 weeks. The quality control is inconsistent. Some users report flawless performance. Others report leaks or hard starts. At $15, the gamble is cheap enough that the community has turned it into a cult pen. People buy one to see what a vacuum filler feels like without paying $200 for a restored vintage Parker. Then they buy 3 more because they want the colors. The trade-off is the weight and the risk. The reward is a filling system. Vintage collectors pay specialists to bring back to life, and you get it new for the price of 2 sandwiches. That is number 4. The Pilot Kakuno costs $12 to $15 at Jet Pens, Goulet Pens, or Amazon. It has a smiley face on the nib. The barrel is bright plastic. It is marketed to children. Adults carry it anyway because it has the same nib and feed Pilot uses in the Metropolitan, the Prera, and the 78G+. Pilot calls it their gold standard feed. It delivers consistent flow, smooth starts, and reliable performance across their whole line. The Kakuno gets that feed for $12. The difference between the Kakuno and a $60 Pilot pen is not how it writes. The difference is the smiley face and the primary colors. The smiley face is not kitsch. It is honesty. The pen is telling you writing should be fun, not expensive. Community reports are consistent. The Kakuno is the pen people lend without fear. It always comes back. The borrower always asks where to buy one. You are paying $12 for a nib. Pilot charges $50 to $70 for in-resin barrels with serious names. And the only thing you are giving up is the pretense that expensive means better. That is number 3. And it is the pen that proves children's marketing is more honest than luxury marketing. The Hongdian Black Forest costs $8 to $14 on Amazon or eBay. It is all metal with a hooded nib and a matte black finish. The hooded nib is the same design Parker used in the 51, one of the most iconic pens ever made. The barrel is aluminum. The cap threads smoothly. When it works, it writes well enough that people forget it costs $10. They carry it daily. They ink it with expensive inks. They trust it. The quality control is inconsistent. Some arrive perfect. Some arrive with dry feeds or misaligned tines. That is the price of $8. But when you get a good one, it looks like $50, feels substantial, and writes smoothly. The risk is real. So is the value. That is number 2, and it is the pen that makes you question what you have been paying for all along. The TWSBI Go costs $20 to $22 at Goulet Pens, Jet Pens, Anderson Pens, or Amazon. It is a spring-loaded piston filler in a transparent demonstrator body. You press a button on the barrel and pump the plunger like a vintage pen from the 30s. The mechanism is simpler than the Eco screw piston, which is why it costs $8 less. But it is the same brand, the same build quality, the same warranty. TWSBI publishes disassembly videos. They sell replacement O-rings for $2. The GO holds 1.4 milliliters. It ships with a wrench and silicone grease. You are paying $22 for a piston filler, full transparency, and a brand that wants you to understand your pen. Here is why it is number 1. The GO does what $75 pens do. It holds more ink than cartridge pens. It lets you see the mechanism work. It is built to be serviced by the user, and it costs $22. The difference between the GO and a $75 piston pen is not the engineering. The difference is the brand cannot charge you for heritage it does not have yet. So it charges you for the pen. That is it. No logo tax, no century of marketing, no mahogany box, just the pen, the mechanism, and the price it actually costs to make it well. The pattern is the same across all 10. First, design over heritage. None of these brands can charge for 100 years of history, so they charge for what is in your hand. The Metro has the Prera's nib for $15. The Preppy has the 37766 cap for $3. The Kakuno has Pilot's gold standard feed for $12. The pattern is identical. You pay for the pen, not the legend. Second, transparency is strategy. TWSBI makes demonstrators because they want you to see the mechanism. Lamy makes nibs swappable because they want you to experiment. Pilot puts a smiley face on the Kakuno because they want writing to feel joyful. Transparency is confidence. Third, hunger over legacy. Pen BBS and Hongdian are building reputation, pen by pen. TWSBI publishes repair guides because every pen is an audition for your next purchase. Pilot and Platinum offer entry pens that do not cut corners because they need the next generation. These brands cannot afford to disappoint you, and that desperation makes better pens. Buy for the nib, not the name. Buy for the page, not the box. A pen that writes well for $20 is better than one that writes the same for $80 and ships in mahogany. You now know what to look for. The next time you are standing in front of a pen case, you will ask the right questions. Does this cost $60 because the nib is better or because the brand is older? Does it have a piston filler or a converter and a heritage story? Is the price driven by what is inside the pen or what is printed on the cap? That is the part the industry would rather you never figure out. What is inked in your carry right now? Did I rank your favorite too low? Tell me I am wrong. I will read everyone.